He still may be coming. He's going to come in with his cape on.
We decided to keep the program the same as best we could. So Michael Hilson leading us through that one on the piano. Now it's your turn. Let's stand up and sing. Those hands clapping, those voices singing. Come on. Standing outside the door of love and mercy, you wonder if there's a place there for you. You know there's peace inside, but still you're searching for someone who understands the Good morning. Lewis.
We're on live. Hello, Elliot.
Good morning, man.
Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Tampa. Thank you for coming this morning. Welcome to all of you at the watching online today. We appreciate you coming and listening in on our service this morning. And first of all, we want to get to the visitors. Do we have any new visitors here today that have never been here before? We do. Quite a few. Thank you. Great. Keep your hand up just for a second. We have a gift for you. We have two gifts. One, we're going to give you a flower to take home and grow at your house. And secondly, we have shirts in the back. So when you're ready to leave, just stop by the table before you go out the door, and there's a free shirt for you, T-shirt, all sizes, all colors. Just you have your pick. So thank you for coming. We appreciate you. Announcements. You can get your announcements on the Sunday Bulletin. You can listen to me, but I'm not going to give them all to you, so you got to go to the Sunday Bulletin for that. Email newsletter, for those of you either here or online, if you're not getting the email newsletter and you want it, go to the website, which is unitytampa.org. And right on the top, there's a button up there that you push. I can't remember what it says, but if you push it, it will take you right to the page where you can just type in your email, push send, and that's it. It takes about 10 seconds, and then you'll start getting the email newsletter from us, and we don't use your emails for anything else, so don't worry about that. And then you've got Facebook and website that you can do that. All right, and if everyone would please silence their phones to make sure we have no interruptions. All right. The first one, Jan Cohn is hosting Wednesday Wisdom, easy for you to say. That's Wednesday, starting again, it's Wednesdays 11:30 to 1 o'clock, midweek gathering to meet and share with others. Make sure you bring your lunch if you want to eat. And we have tail waggers have started back up again. It's not too hot now for dogs. It's only dogs, I guess. Is that right? Could be people. Well, yeah, people. That's important. Unless your dog knows exactly where to go and what to do. And that's next Friday, May the 3rd. It's the first Friday of each month at 9 o'clock at, it doesn't say here, but I know it's at Al Lopez Park, which is a big place to walk your dog. All right. Or your people, yes. And now we have, everybody say it, Boricua. All right, excellent. This is next week, next Sunday, and I just was told something else, so before I forget it, I'll tell. And if you have any guests, this would be a good day to bring guests next week, because then they'll get to see. They'll be at the picnic also, and it'll be a nice thing to do, and maybe get more interest of people coming here. So we can do that. So Boricua. The theme, Live Boricua, it's more than a word to identify a person from Puerto Rico. It's a way of life that means embracing the beauty that surrounds you, seeking adventure no matter where it may lead, and sharing that vibrant spirit with everyone you meet. Sound like anybody we know? Unity of Tampa. Fits right in there. So Jackie Saldana and her crew are generously contributing all the main dishes for the Puerto Rican fiesta. Is Jackie here today? No. Okay, she's cooking. She's cooking all week. She'll be cooking for this. I was going to recognize her, but we'll do that maybe next week or when she's here. She won't be ready next week either. She'll be cooking still. All right, but the fabulous socialites, me being one of them, with a heavy emphasis on the word fabulous, have a few requests for you. One of those is if you want to eat sitting down, bring a chair. We do have chairs, but we don't have enough to cover everyone. So if you have any folding chairs, please stick them in your trunk, bring them, make sure you put your names on them, and then when you leave, take them away. Don't leave them for us because we don't want them here, because we got a lot of stuff here stored back in our new storage unit. Second, what else do we need? We need we need a side dish or desserts. So if you want to bring any kind of a side dish or desserts with a heavy emphasis on desserts, I had a discussion this morning with Lewis Key, and Lewis Key said, man, I'd really like to have desserts. So we want to bring those too. And also lots of salads are requested. So salads and desserts. Think salads, desserts, 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 salads, desserts. And everything will be great. Also bring them, if you can, bring your food. Anything that you bring it in a disposable container if you can, so we can just throw that away so we have a lot less cleanup at the end when we're done. And let's see, what else? Oh, don't forget, bring your dancing shoes, because Elliot has volunteered to have the band. We're going to take all of this right here, and we're going to move this out in the parking lot, and he's going to be playing the entire time for the fiesta. So it's going to be live music that we're going to have. So thank you for that, Elliot. 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 Actually, as you obviously figured, the piano would be rather difficult to get out there.
I don't even have a soundbite for that joke.
Yeah.
That's how caught off guard I am.
I just wanted to see if you guys were listening. Obviously, you are listening to me. No, but we will have music. It won't be live music. It'll be fake music, but it'll be music, and it'll be Puerto Rican music going like crazy all over the place. We'll be dancing all over and running circles around everybody. So be prepared to have fun next week. So that is Boricua. Save the date. Who is this? Reverend Nancy's ordination is Sunday. It's coming up. It's coming up. Are you getting nervous, or are you just getting excited? Oh, it's the second one. She's done this over again. This isn't her first rodeo. So this is Sunday, May 19th, the 11 a.m., and then the reception follows. So it's during the service. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Enough for you right now. We'll move on. For us. Oh, yes. It's not in here, but I just wanted to thank. Yesterday, there was a Paint Your Heart Out that we went and painted. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Well, I'll let you handle. Okay. I'll shut up. Sorry. Soul Sisters. Soul Sisters Show and Sell Craft Fair, Sunday, June the 2nd. Crafters are wanted. So see Gilda. Is that by the seashore? Don't get me tongue-tied here. I'm almost done. And then we have birthdays. All right. And we got 4 birthdays that we know of. Gilbert Lopez, May the 1st. Becky Sue Meadows, May the 1st. Dave Carlson, who's listening online to Colorado. Hey, Dave. May the 3rd. And Larry Garvin, May the 3rd also. And is there anyone else that we didn't mention that are having a birthday this coming week? Oh. Oh, really? All right. Congratulations. No. I'm just going to stay up here. I like this. This is fun. This is fun for me. All right, well, let's sing to these birthday. Let's sing me off the stage. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, God loves you. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Louis.
You know, it's always fun when you're up here. All right, how about a hand for Louis? What a great job. You know, I appreciate the platform. Can you turn me down, David, please? Thank you. I'm loud normally, but yeah, no comment. Thank you, David. It's in your best interest. David and I have known each other 29 years now, so I can smart off to him. Anyway, so yes, second ordination for new people, just so you know. I've been ordained for more than a decade. as an interfaith minister, but this is unity. I also just want to say I appreciate all of the people who step up to help us. I want to thank the band. I want to thank the sound team, our greeters, our fellowship hall supporters, the food. This place has got so many wonderful people. Our prayer chaplains. I want to welcome my husband back after 6 weeks. Please try not to bump into him or knock him off his crutches. That would be important. Okay, I have 3 announcements. The first one is Paint Your Heart Out. So I want to, thank you to our sorry, Greg. Thank you to our Facebook and online audience. You're a big part of our congregation, and we appreciate you. Yesterday, big event. Dave 12, thank you for leading the Paint Your Heart Out event. And for all of you who were there yesterday, would you stand? That's a lot of great bodies and helpers. Thank you so much. Yeah. So overall good? Yeah, and the house is, yeah?
Everything, she loved it.
Nice. Oh, that's beautiful. What a great thing another thing we do for our community. Thank you very much. Louis, did you have anything to add?
I was just going to say that it was interesting that most of us that were talking this morning found that when we got home, we had as much paint on ourselves as we did on the
So for those that didn't hear that, Louis said that when he got home, he realized that they had as much paint on themselves as they had put on the house. So. And Michael, I wanted to tell you, I'm sorry I didn't put a thing there. I thought you were in New York.
I'm up and down, yes.
You're up and down? Yeah, I see that. Thank you. All right, I also want to say a big thank you to Luis and Dave Reed, who met us at Costco, helped pick up all these new picnic tables for our brand new patio, and carted them over to the church, and then had to help us. Well, we barely helped them. I've got him and me, and we put everything's in the room being waited to be put together, and great job. Luis, I know you're here. Did you stand? I don't see if you did, but anyway, thank you to both of them. And then last but not least, Jeffrey and Margaret managed the big ARE event that was here. If you were one of the people that was at that event, with 114 people present, will you stand? I'm just curious. Awesome. Oh yeah, not you. Awesome. Well, thank you. We had a lot of new people and very interesting, I heard, so thank you. All right, and Kirk and Janine, I wanted to say congratulations to Ayla for the new baby. They have a new granddaughter. They have more than one, and so more than one grandchild. And they have a new granddaughter that was born on Wednesday, right? Yeah, Wednesday. Rory Joy will be a new congregant somewhere in another state. But I want to congratulate you both on the new grandchild. All right, now that we are almost finished with our hour, no. So let's say our affirmation together. There is only one power and one presence in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And I've asked Margaret to read our daily word today.
Good morning. So today's daily word is inner peace. I call upon the infinite peace of God within. I find peace in the beauty around me, a clear day, flowers swaying in the breeze, a gently flowing stream, all reveal the presence of God and reflect my inner nature. Lasting peace resides within my mind and heart. If that peace is temporarily disturbed, if I am feeling out of sorts about my life or the situation of a dear one, I draw upon my strength and stability by turning away from outer circumstances and going within. I quiet the chatter of my mind, perhaps thinking of one of my peaceful places, imagining the breeze caressing my face and hearing the trickling stream. In this quiet state, I connect with my source and begin to feel a settling calmness. I consider my life from this higher perspective and remain centered and serene no matter what is happening in my life or in the world. Peace be with you, from John chapter 20, verse 26.
Will you guys stand up and sing with us one more time this morning? And now this is the last week for Let It Rise, folks. So we gotta sing it like we mean it. Spirit of our God, let the Spirit of our God rise among us. Let the Spirit of our God rise among us. Let the Spirit of our God rise among us. Let it rise. Oh, 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 let it rise. Yeah. Let the love within our hearts rise among us. Let the love within our hearts rise among us. Let the love within our hearts rise among us. Let it rise. Oh, 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 let it rise. Rise on up. Here we go. Let the peace around the world rise among us. Let the peace around the world rise among us. Let the peace around the world rise among us. Let it rise. Whoa, 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 let it rise. Back to Spirit of our God. Hey, let the Spirit of our God rise among us. Spirit of our God rise among us. Let the Spirit of our God rise among us. Let it rise. Oh, 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 let it rise. Oh, 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 let it rise. Oh, 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 let it rise. We've had a great time singing that song with you guys. Thanks so much for that. Appreciate you bringing the energy.
All right, we have two good news stories today, but this time we have two videos. So I'm just going to stay here and watch them with you.
All this week, we've celebrated volunteers, the men, the women, and children who help make Tampa Bay such a compassionate community.
And this morning, we're ending our salute with the weekday warriors. These are retirees who lend their time and talents to building houses for Habitat for Humanity. Our Sean Daly meets with one of these superstar volunteers.
I really had no experience with this. I had some very good supervisors when I first started who were extremely patient while I was learning things.
Clearwater's John Zoda is a 72-year-old retiree. He spent a lot of his life in the pharmaceutical biz. Construction zones, not so much.
10 years ago, I had retired and was looking for something different, something to do, get me out of the house.
Now he's part of a key volunteer group at Habitat for Humanity of Pinellas and West Pasco counties. This is a weekday warrior right here. This is salt of the earth, this guy. That's right. The Weekday Warriors program is for retirees looking to get involved and make a difference helping build homes for families in need. The only requirement? Time and a lot of heart.
It makes you humble because you realize how fortunate you are, and there's a lot of people out there aren't that fortunate.
John is humble. In 10 years, this volunteer has actually helped build
300?
300 houses! 300 houses! Habitat's Director of Programs, Xavier Oliver, says make no mistake.
Weekday Warriors are the heart of Habitat. We are building 80-plus homes a year, and we would not be able to do it without these dedicated volunteers.
And John says there's a surprising perk to his volunteer service.
Now you see something at home and you can do it.
I can do it. I replaced a couple doors that I would have never probably done before till I done doors here and said, I can do that.
In Clearwater, I'm Sean Daly, ABC Action News.
We all remember this day back in February when a pilot couldn't land at Clearwater's Air Park because, well, he couldn't see the runway. He ended up crashing into a neighborhood just a few miles away. And that might have happened in Hernando County without the help of 2 deputies who were at the right place at the right time. Fox 13's Jordan Bullen explains how they helped a distressed pilot.
It was through this radio that Deputy Pilot Stephen Kling knew someone was in trouble.
You can hear it in his voice. There was a little nervousness, and any aviator would be the same if they never experienced something like that.
It was a pilot trying to land at Brooksville Tampa Bay Regional Airport. Both Kling and Deputy Pilot Roy McLaughlin were in the hangar when they heard the pilot over the radio.
His voice was kind of trembling. You can always tell when someone is in a situation where they're not comfortable.
The pilot was trying to activate the runway lights so he could see to land at night.
Simple as just doing this 7 times.
The pilot was pressing the right button, but for some reason the radio signal from the plane wouldn't activate the lights.
It was obvious to us that he was uncomfortable, but he was managing it, and he was able to fly, still what we call fly ahead of the airplane, keeping everything in check.
The pilot circled several times in his Cessna 152, similar to this plane, trying to activate the lights, but they wouldn't turn on. That's when Kling and McLaughlin jumped in the chopper.
We took the aircraft up. We flew to the south side of runway 9's threshold, and we used the lights on the bottom of the aircraft to illuminate that touchdown zone elevation.
The pair hovered just a few feet off the ground with this bright light shining on the runway so the pilot could safely land.
Had he committed to trying to land without the lights, it could have ended disastrously.
McLaughlin says most experienced pilots would have found another airport. He says this pilot seemed to be a beginner but still handled it well. As for why the lights didn't turn on, both say it may have just been a weak signal at the time.
So once he put it on the ground, I said, hey man, you did a great job. That was some really good aviating. And he said, hey, thank you so much. Thanks for helping me out.
Reporting in Hernando County, Jordan Bowen, Fox 13 News.
I wanted to share that story is those of you who are in the book club on Thursday, we talked about these very things, that when we're studying the book, The Eye of the Storm, and that when you're in a situation that is difficult, you have 2 choices. And Patrick was sharing in the class about how he had to land a plane in an emergency situation and stay calm. But what I loved about the story is that he could have panicked and just been completely freaked out, or he could trust the process and let other people help him, which is our topic for today. So I just thought it was a great reminder to make sure you're reaching out to people and getting the help you need and trust. So let's get ready for meditation.
I am at peace, I am at peace, I am one with the Spirit, I am calm, I am still, I am doing God's will, I am at peace, I am at peace, I am one with the Spirit, and I dwell in the presence of the Lord. I am loved,
so thinking about that last line, and I dwell in the presence of the Lord. Think of it as dwelling in the presence of the most powerful spirit of this universe. So I invite you to just take a few deep breaths. It's a beautiful morning. It's a busy day. You probably have a million things you want to do today. But for now, this is where you are. So put your thoughts and your attention on your heartbeat and the inner peace that you need to feel and tap into. And just listen to the words that I'm going to share, taking in what is right for you, letting go of anything that does not resonate. As you open your heart space for what is in your highest good. Today, I take time to reflect on all the people who have played an important role in my life, and those I have supported as well. I am part of an amazing universe and one piece in a gigantic puzzle where every piece matters in order to create the whole picture. I have an important role to play in this lifetime in order for that picture to be completed. And the same is true for everyone around me. The way we fit together is critical for the universe to work. As part of a larger community, I experience the benefits of belonging and building divine good in ways I could never do by myself. Life is like a beautiful symphony, every action adding to another, and yet separately having far less impact. I acknowledge my need for others, and I acknowledge the importance of us marching forward together in this lifetime. Whether at work, painting a house, helping my family, a neighbor, a friend. Knowing everything is perfectly orchestrated and guided in a divine way if I just play my part. As I continue to grow on my spiritual journey, I acknowledge that I'm growing and evolving, and that growth is dependent upon me understanding my need for others through the lens of my divine eyes. There is no separation between me and anyone. And that's what brings out the greatest compassion in me. I listen, I observe, and I add my own unique expression to the symphony of life. We are one, and all things and people can work together in divine synchronization. And we are more powerful when we do. I seek the quietness of my mind now and listen for divine wisdom. Recognizing my need for that quiet, I remind myself that at any time I can go within and find my inner peace. And as I come back to this moment in time, feeling relaxed, refreshed, and recognizing I'm centered in peace. Good morning, Logan. So, today our focus is on understanding our need for other people. I have been reminded of that more than I care to. You know, I've been telling you for weeks, it seems like the universe, right when I have a topic, the universe feels the need to give me a dose of the experience to make sure that I'm qualified for the day to speak about it. So I'm going to share another little story that the universe decided to pop on me this week that was quite humbling and taught me the importance of needing other people. And not just needing them, but recognizing that's what we're supposed to do. So Tuesday, I go to the eye doctor, and the short version of this is that for months now, my dry eye condition has been ramping up, and I've been throwing contacts on top of them because I had to drive Jeffrey around for 6 weeks for doctor appointments and everything for surgery this past week. And so it was easier to just put my contacts on, wear them all day, whereas normally I'd be wearing my glasses in the office for my corporate job and also for any Unity work I do from home. So knowing that people like Janice and our friend Tony have been on me since mid-January to see the eye doctor because my eyes have been bloodshot every day. So I go in to see the ophthalmologist, and she tells me, you know, well, your eyes are like the moon right now. They're so rough, and you've been slapping contacts on them, and you've created not only ridges and bumps under your eyelids, but your left eye is forming new blood tributaries, and you've ridged your left cornea. So my response, which I thought was natural, was, could I just wear my contacts for 3 more days? Let me get Jeffrey to the hospital. Let me get through the next 3 days. What could 3 days do? I thought that was natural. And she said, if you wear your contacts, you are going to lose your left eye. You are at risk. She said, do you understand me? I said, do you understand me? I said, 2 jobs, a 15-year-old and a husband having surgery. Do you think I can be without my eyesight? She said, would you like to be without it permanently? I said, do I have 3 days? She didn't think I was funny, but she didn't know I was actually quite serious. So since Tuesday, I've not been able to see. All of you are underwater, and I literally couldn't see to do my hair, anything. I'm doing everything by feeling. And my sheet today is in the biggest font I've ever written. But here's the thing. All of a sudden, on Tuesday, I had to let my husband drive, who couldn't drive. I had to ask for help getting to the hospital. Doctor said, you can't take an Uber. I said, no, I'm not taking an Uber to take my husband to the hospital. Fortunately, our daughter came and at 5:30 in the morning and took us. But I actually had to be led to the bathroom. So now I had a whole audience, I'm sure, of people wondering why. I think the antibiotic and steroid drops are making things more blurry, and the fact that I can't put a lens on my eye. So I tell you all that because this was so humbling. Those of you who know me well know I'm an extremely independent person, and I'm not good at asking for help. In fact, I'm so not good at asking for help that Janice, when all the years we've known each other, 20 years, he always says, before you say no, let me ask. So I had that dose this week. And what I want you to understand is that suddenly, both Jeffrey and I had to learn. He couldn't walk, I couldn't see. We were a heck of a combination. Now, I say all of that because what I want us to really be thinking about is that we shouldn't have to be in a crisis to learn to need others. It's why it's so difficult when we are in a crisis. Because we think we're supposed to be strong, independent people who don't need anyone. And half the time we want to make sure that no one sees us as less than. Right? I'm not incapable. I can take care of myself. In fact, let me take that hammer and wreck that building I need to wreck. But we need to be mindful that this world was not created for us to be alone. And until we understand that the puzzle can't actually come together very well unless we are connected. Just like we do at the end of the service when we sing the peace song. It's the same concept. You know, for thousands of years, people have realized instinctively that they needed people. They knew how to step up. Groups do this really well, but we don't do it quite well enough as individuals. And every one of us has found it difficult, yet valuable, to belong. It's our sense of belonging. How many of you come here on Sunday that you've been coming here since we moved into this new location in 21? How many of you know you belong? That when you walk in the door, you know that no matter what's going on in your life, someone here will acknowledge you and make sure you feel supported. Now, I can't tell how many hands went up, but I'm concerned. I'm trusting you on this. But every one of us has to get to that place to understand that when we work together, we will grow exponentially as people. Our spirit grows when we invite others in, when we allow people to be part of our process. There are several things I wanted to read to you. One is that we grow spiritually. Also, that we are empowered when we have purpose. And we usually have purpose when we're helping someone else or they're helping us. right? There's that sense, I've got something I've got to do to help somebody today. It's meaningful. The other part of this that's important is that we actually enjoy spending time with other people and learning to receive support. Now, we're usually drawn to being a part of something bigger than us, and we're good at being a part of something bigger than us. However, what's important here is understanding that if you don't get to experience the sense of belonging, the sense of being needed, you don't grow. Your heart doesn't grow, only your mind grows. You know, I was reading this article. Well, let me not get ahead of myself. Can you pause for a minute? I need fluid. Anybody want to make me cry? Sorry. Just bear with me 1 minute. Just a little fluid would help. All right. Oh, God, you are out there. All right. So when we spend time together in common purpose, this is what happens for us. We develop healthier mindsets. We become more resilient. Believe it or not, we live longer lives. We experience a higher level of overall emotional well-being. And believe it or not, physical well-being. Our experience is to teach us that we're simply better together. And if we help one another on a bigger scale by joining together, we recognize there are power in numbers, which is what happened to Dave and the group that painted yesterday. There's power in numbers. If you had to paint a whole house by yourself yesterday, would you have gotten it done? No, but a group of people get together, they're empowered, and they were able to deliver. Deepak Chopra has written about the power of group meditation, and he shares studies show that positive social, political, and economic results that are associated with synchronized group meditation. And there's one in particular I loved. So there's this experience that was conducted during the Lebanon War in the 1980s that showed when 1,000 people in Jerusalem meditated on world peace, there were 75% less war-related deaths during the time they were meditating. And crime also dropped, which they weren't even praying for. They were holding the consciousness in numbers for something powerful. And they were able to accomplish that. But in the actual days the group meditated, all destructive activities that went on had stopped. Just people praying, meditating, holding that level of consciousness. There's an article written by David Watson called The Power of Groups. And he said this. He talks about how we generally learn faster as groups than we do as individuals. And I think this is super true for what I experienced this last week. He said as individuals, we have limited ability to absorb information, whereas the group becomes this collective reservoir of information. So each person in the group is going to hear something different than the others, right? Groups remember more, that collective memory is better in terms of the amount we remember and accuracy. And this is what happened during his surgery. 3 of us were listening to the doctor, right? 2 of us first, my daughter and myself. And then when we met with Jeffrey, who was, out of his mind at the time. But here's the thing, we all remembered something different. And when we told the story collectively, we had all the pieces we need. We knew what to do, how to help him, all of that. But it took that collectiveness and recognizing we didn't need to be the only one. We don't have to be the perfect person. We don't have to be the only one who knows. We could just take a breath and let someone else help. Another point David Watson made is that groups will hold each other accountable, that individuals within the group help each other stay on course. That happens in our board meetings all the time. We start rambling off, and someone inevitably, and it's always a different someone, will help us get back on track. Groups expand faster. They gain momentum in their purpose together. And while it isn't always going to feel like we are better off with other people, the truth is we're not meant to live alone. And we absolutely have to get this right. And I don't want any of you to have your eyes go out so that you can learn that you need other people. And there are two things I've figured out that get in our way. One is pride, and the second is ego. So pride gets in our way because we don't want anybody to think we're not capable, that they're any less than, that we're strong and powerful people. Ego gets in the way because we're worried that we'll be judged if we ask for help. Oh, could you help me? Geez, what's going on with her today? That's all our mind. It's just our mind playing games. People would love to help us if we let them. And fortunately for Jeffrey and I, we had so many people who had offered help, we could have reached out before I couldn't see. I thought we were doing pretty good until that day. But we are not meant to be on islands, and I want us all to get this right. If we learn to need each other and we depend on one another, it teaches us to be vulnerable and to trust, which is an important aspect of growth. Trust the village you have surrounded yourself with. And if you haven't created a village, create one. This is a perfect place to start. There are so many groups within the group that do things, that manage outreach, that manage help, that volunteer somewhere, somehow, something. And the most interesting thing to me is understanding how the birds and geese know this better than adults. So I'm sure you've noticed by now that geese fly in V formations, right? I don't know how many of you know about it, but I talked about it a few years ago. I want to share. So first of all, they instinctively understand that forming together in the V will reduce air resistance for the whole flock. So they know instinctively a bird to get in line and reduce the stress on them. If a goose falls out of formation, it suddenly feels the drag and resistance of trying to go it alone and quickly gets back into the formation to avoid the stress. Is there any reason we don't do that? How many of you have been stressed in this last week in your life? Come on. Yeah, come on. Really? There you go. Be honest. Okay. When we're stressed, we need to get into that formation. Who can rally with us? Who can take some of the resistance off? Who can help? As a community, birds and geese know to work together. There's the leader in the front. When they get tired, they literally move to the back, and somebody else steps forward. They just know this. There is no course for them on V formation, how to get in line, wind resistance. They don't take tests. Geese in the back of the V formation will make a honking sound from behind to encourage those up front to pick up the pace. How does that happen? Us, we just honk our horns, asking people to pick up the pace. flying in a V formation increases a flock's flying area by 72%. They can cover 72% more territory and get further than they can alone because they know how to work together. As a side note, I wanted to share this, something I read about pelicans, that they fly alone, beat their wings more frequently, and have higher rates than those that fly in formation. And I thought it was funny because it sounded like us, right? Trying to keep going. But my favorite aspect of the way these geese work together was that when one goose gets sick and falls, two automatically go along. And they stay with that sick bird or help that bird be protected by any harm. They remain by that goose's side until the bird flies or passes. And what I think is important for us today is in recognizing that we could ask ourselves this series of questions. So just take this in. How can needing one another help us reduce the stress we often feel? How could we manage to encourage one another to keep going? How can we improve in our ability to keep track of each other and hold each other accountable or notice when someone is missing from the group? And when members of our group go missing, do we find ways to help them to recover or maybe just find their way back? In all of this, what I believe helps us is that we need to get to a place where we have no excuses anymore for why we are not reaching out to people. Not just when we need help, but because we want to help them. This is our chance to step back. We are unity people. There's a reason when you look at the word unity, there's no I that allows us. Yes, there's an I in unity, I get it. But what I'm trying to tell you is unified means there's more than one. So we need to really get to a place where we are not letting others suffer. And more importantly, get a place where we're proactive, where we need people just because, and they know that. And we remind them of how grateful we are. Let's review our takeaways, assuming I can read them. Okay, understanding our need for one another can help us first nurture everyone's need to belong and watch how people show up. Number 2, to commit to achieving success together. It's empowering and it's enlightening. Number 3, embrace the power in numbers and experience and trust the energy that exists. And number 4, learn that it's okay to depend on other people, to be vulnerable, and know you're not alone. And the affirmation I have for us today is I affirm my need for others. Let's say that together. I affirm my need for others. And our quote today is from Helen Keller, who said, alone we can do little, together we can do so much. Let's take that in. And so we pause for a moment to recognize the importance of needing one another. The joy of helping others. The knowledge that we are part of that gigantic puzzle in this universe. And if we don't play our part and we don't reach out to other people, our puzzle will never be completed. It's a powerful world, and we play a powerful part. And so we say thank you, God, for the gift of others and the gift of knowing that we are far more powerful together. And so it is. Amen. Our chaplains do a great job. If you have a prayer need, there are cards in the back of your seats and also at the prayer box on your left when you walk out. I want to just gently mention that we're grateful to have Sharon with us today, Jan's daughter. You've been praying, we've been, as chaplains, praying for Sharon for months. And the fact that she even walked in here today is a miracle in its own. So I just want to acknowledge her for that. It's an incredible amount of perseverance to go through as much as she has and make that journey into this building. So thank you. We know our affirmation, and for those of you who are new, we believe in the power of abundance. And so every Sunday we recite an affirmation that you can recite at home, saying I or we, depending on who you live with. And we say it here as we. We have faith in God as our instant, constant, abundant supply and supplier. We have faith in God to open ways when to the human sense there is no way. We have faith in God to guide us in all our ways, and our health, happiness, and prosperity are assured. Thank you, God, for your abundant good now flowing forth to meet our every need. And so it is. And if you want to contribute here, I know I keep being asked to say this. There are many ways. We have a Breeze app. You can do that. You can use the QR code in your bulletin, and you can use the old-fashioned box in the hallway out there. But thank you for everyone who continues to support our mission. All right, I'm assuming the kids are out there, so let's bring them in.
Feeling good, like I should. Went and took a walk around my neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Just got the sunshine on my Sunday best.
Good morning. So today we cleaned up the picnic tables in the back for the picnic next week. So those are all nice and clean, as well as they can be, because they were filthy. So we did that today, and then we talked about some other service project ideas and what we want to do with our space in the new building.
So excited. The younger kids, we actually read Matthew 8, 28 through 34, which is about Jesus casting demons out of men into pigs. And we talked about our demons, so all of our negative thoughts and our urges to do things we know we're not supposed to do. And we wrote them all down, and we tore them all up and cast them away. So we learned about denials as well as affirmations today. So let's bless these awesome kids. Okay, I'm going to do it right this week. We love you. We bless you. We truly appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in you. We love you. We love you. We really, really love you.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow. You can sing the words if you know them. For if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me. gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. And if there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road. I'll share your load if you just call me. Just call me. Come on and just call me. Right up the road, just call me. Happy Sunday. All right. I had Sam ask me recently, actually, hey, you guys used to do some really cool, like, secular songs when they fit the topic. What about doing some of those again? I thought of this Bill Withers song this week, so there we go. Hey, let's stand. We got you guys standing. We'll join hands and sing the peace song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
All right, look around you. Connect with the people that you're standing with. And just feel the energy we've created in this room. And let's say our prayer of protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is great. God bless you. Thank you for being here today.